All right, Caitlin, you can start.
All right. So everybody should know me, but I'm Caitlin, and I just wanted to have the CBD 101 to kind of to talk about what got me started and why I kind of turned towards this and how I met Allie. So as you can see, I have a little one. He will be 10 months old tomorrow, and I was in the classroom until about 3 months ago. And early as a child, I was diagnosed with ADD. And as I've gotten older, I realize it's probably not so much the case as it was really probably anxiety coming out as ADHD symptoms or ADD symptoms. So I grew up taking Adderall, Ritalin, you name it, I tried it, and just really didn't like the way that I felt taking those medicines. And then when I started exploring kind of the anxiety symptoms and then medicines and the side effects, I knew that I didn't want that. So I got linked up with some really natural products and just felt like something was still missing. So that's how I found Allie and plug in the CBD stuff. And I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. And I can honestly say that I actually feel a difference. Like I was able to clean my house today. I didn't get the whole thing done, but I didn't get lost or feel overwhelmed. And I was actually like able to finish task, which was something that I've never really been able to do before. I would say I was a flying squirrel. Um, right, either get lost in train of thought or literally just like a ping pong ball bouncing around my house. And that's not really the case. So here we are, and I'm excited about it.
Well, I'm excited to share, and I'm glad you're here, Caitlin, because I know a lot of people have like a similar story, and it's very relatable. But I will kind of dig in a little bit about myself and introduce myself, and then just kind of go into a little bit about Green Compass. So I am Allie Cleek, and I am here in Virginia Beach, so not too far away. From Caitlin, and I was a teacher myself for 12 years, and I taught special education. Um, Never saw myself in the direct selling space, but I actually started with a different company in my prior life when I had my first child, because my husband and I kind of saw ourselves needing a little extra income with daycare expenses. And I fell in love with the industry. I fell in love with the sense of community it gave me. I fell in love with the extra income it gave my family and I. And just kind of like being able to use a different side of myself that I lost a little bit in motherhood. So fast forward 4 years later, um, I kind of learned a lot about direct sales and I was feeling stuck where I was. And that's kind of when Green Compass fell into my lap. I wasn't looking for another company, but it just kind of was there on social media. And it was one of those things that you couldn't turn away from. And so I asked all the questions and I was super, super skeptical, if I'm being 100% honest. I had never tried CBD. I saw all the signs like outside of my neighborhood. I saw it in the grocery stores, convenience stores, and I was like, yeah, I just don't know about this product. Like, I really don't know if I trust it enough. Um, and that's when I had to do some research for myself. And after I did, I realized like, wow, like this is a really powerful plant. And I was really wrong in what I thought it was. And so I joined Green Compass and, here I am 3 years later. I was obviously able to retire from teaching. And what took me 4 years to build with my prior company, I surpassed in under 4 weeks. Um, and that's not because of me. I'm still the same person. I'm still doing the same things. It's kind of what we have at Green Compass. We're the right company, the right timing, and we have such a phenomenal product to share. And that's kind of what I'm gonna dive into right now. So first, I'm just gonna kind of go over how Green Compass started, and um, it was born because a mother, Meredith Cook, which is our founder, wanted a quality CBD to give her boys. She has two boys. And she did not trust anything on the market enough to give it to them. So, if any of you on the call have kids, we look at the ingredients a little harsher before we give it to our kids. I have two kids myself, and I feel the exact same way. And so when she was doing the research to find CBD for them, she realized that there is actually a really big need in this industry for clean CBD, clean hemp. And that's when she got with her husband, who has tons of agriculture experience, tons of farming experience and business experience. And they kind of meshed their two ideas together and developed Green Compass. Um, so as you can probably tell just from that little spiel, the CBD industry is very unregulated. The FDA has no control over it currently. And so people are able to do and sell pretty much anything in a bottle and label it as CBD. So I'm going to go over kind of what sets Green Compass apart in a very wild west of an industry. And the first thing is we are USDA certified organic. And that is not to be confused with just being like organic. So you might not be able to see this, but we actually have like the label certified organic. And that's important because a lot of people will claim that they're organic, but they're not. So we really just have a higher standard for quality. And that's important with CBD because CBD is from the hemp plant and hemp is a scavenger plant. That means that whatever is near it, close to it, around it, it soaks up. So everything it comes in contact with, including heavy metals, pesticides, contaminants, it is going to get in the plant. So it's really important what you know where you're getting your hemp from. With Green Compass, we have not only is our hemp organic, but a 5-mile radius around our soil and our farms is organic as well, because we want to make sure that we are doing nothing but putting out the cleanest product. The next thing is we are vertically integrated. I had no clue what that meant when I started, but basically it just means we are completely farm to family. We grow it, we plant the seeds, we grow it, we harvest it, we extract it, we bottle it, we package it, we ship it. Nobody comes in and touches our product except us. We have 100% quality control, and that's how we are really able to make sure that no part of our process is ever disturbed at all. The third thing is the extraction process. And this is really, if you haven't dove deep into CBD, you're probably like, I have no clue what that means, but this is really significant because when you're taking the plant and, extracting it into, the oil, and you're extracting it, people are using alcohol. And when you do use alcohol, you are pretty much taking away some of the benefits, and it's not clean. We at Green Compass use CO2, and that is just the cleanest extraction to date. And that is just another way we provide the cleanest product. And then lastly, we only use the hemp flower. So if you think about the hemp plant, there's the seed, the stalk, the stem, the leaves, the flower. We only use the flower of the plant because that is going to give you the best quality. But a lot of companies are going to use the whole plant because it's going to give you the most quantity. I love mentioning this because I think it's really cool, but our farmers, who are actually part of our corporate team as well, hand pick the hemp flowers like in our farms. So we really go the extra mile just to make sure that we are doing everything right and putting out the best product we absolutely can. And then for our product lineup, I'm not gonna go into everything we have, but I will share a couple of our bread and butter products that I'm sure some of you guys have heard about, but it's the CBD oil and then the CBD jellies, which not to be confused with gummies, which I will kind of get into. But the first is the tinctures, which is known as the oil. These are just going to come in different strengths, different flavors. And you can get with Caitlin depending on what you need. But what's really cool is at the bottom of each bottle, you're going to see that QR code. And this is just another way for you and your family and friends to feel comfortable using it. So you can scan this and you can see exactly what is in the product and exactly what is not in the product. And then our jellies. The reason we call them jellies is because they're not gummies. Gummies have about a 5% absorption rate in your body because the molecules are too big to absorb. They're not water soluble. So really it's like eating a piece of candy. The reason we call them jellies is we have developed at Green Compass, we have developed this own technology where we have been able to shrink the molecules so that they can get absorbed in your digestive tract and have a absorption rate between 90 and 95%. So when you're buying these and spending your hard-earned money on these, you're actually going to feel and notice the benefits of them. And so we have these in broad spectrum and full spectrum. Broad spectrum is just going to be no THC. So my kids use broad spectrum. I use broad spectrum in the morning to give me a little bit of focus, a little bit of energy, a little bit of, clarity throughout my day. And then these are our new jellies, and these are the full spectrum. This is what they look like. And they have the legal limit of THC. Again, nothing we have is going to get you high or have any psychoactive effects. These are hemp derived. Nothing wrong with marijuana, but that is not the business we are in. We are in the business of healing and healthy. Hemp is for feeling healthy. Marijuana is for something else. And we're just in the business of everyone getting healthy here. So these are our newest products, and they are the full spectrum jellies. And what's cool about these is they actually have the longevity of an oil. So they're going to work up to 24 hours, but they're going to work quickly within like 15 minutes. So if you've never experienced the benefits of CBD, we recommend you try what we call the Balance and Restore bundle. You're going to get a full-size bottle of CBD, a full jar of jellies, and it is actually a buy one, get one free deal. It's $99. It's an amazing, amazing offer. So if you have any questions about that at all, I know Caitlin will be free to answer any questions. And at the end of the call, we can answer questions as well. And then, really quickly, I'm just going to transition into a little bit about the business piece, the business side of this. And so the CBD market in general is valued around $5 billion currently, projected to be 28 billion in the next 5 years. So it's one of the fastest growing industries in the world because of that high demand. And that's why when I heard these numbers, that's why this business model makes so much sense. There's really not another market right now besides like the NFL that you're going to see numbers like that climbing. And so when you're looking at direct sales, which I obviously love this space, there's a couple things you want to look at to know if this opportunity is smart for you and your family. And that is the timing of the opportunity good? Does the product they offer bring value to the consumer? And how rare is the product or the mission that they have? And I'm just going to kind of dive into those three things. But before I start, I just want to let you know, like Jess, Caitlin, myself, we would all not be here right now taking time away from our kids. We all have kids. Jess has 5 kids. I have 2 kids. Caitlin has a kid. Like, we would not be here taking time away from our family if we could not put a check mark in all of those boxes. So I like to just kind of get that out of the way to begin with. But the first thing is timing. So Green Compass is 4 years old. We're technically still at that ground floor level because we only have 8,000 active working advocates in the United States. So in the direct sales world, we're kind of at that phase where we're still ground level, but we have set the stage. We've worked out the kinks. We have really good foundation and systems, but we've hit that hyper growth where we are really exploding. And, I'm not making this up. You could Google this. So the next couple of years, you are going to see massive growth within our company because that is just the trajectory of the way direct sales works. And that's why you're going to see more and more people talking about CBD and Green Compass. And the next thing you know, it's going to be all over the place. And we're going to be, a family name, and it's going to be on everyone's bedside table. But just a fun fact, Green Compass has a consulting firm, and we were projected to do about $300,000 our first year. You know, we did 1 million in the first 45 days. And then we did 12 million that first year, and we've doubled it every year since. So we're not just saying that we're going to have this growth. We actually have the numbers to back up like the things we're speaking about. And then the next thing is, does Green Compass offer a product that brings value to the end buyer? And I think we've talked about this, but the answer is definitely yes. CBD creates a better quality of life for everybody. It helps people live life to the fullest. They have less pain, less anxiousness, less stress, better sleep. They just overall feel like a better version of themselves. And that's why we have a 73% customer retention rate. And that's why people are joining this business and having success when they previously may not have. And it's just because we're creating value not only with our products, but with our business. And then lastly, the third thing that you want to look at is like how rare of an opportunity or how rare a product this is. And you're probably thinking like, you just said CBD is not rare. So what are you talking about? But like, hear me out. CBD is 100% all over the place, but 80% of it is junk. 80% of it is mislabeled. So, I could fill this bottle with anything, any liquid, and put my own label on it and sell it as CBD. And there's no regulation. So I think there was a recent study where 9 out of 10 bottles were tested for CBD and 9 of them had actually no CBD in it. So that's where we come in as being the rare company, because we actually do what we say. We have firm standards and high high quality. But also, our founders are just like the salt of the earth. Not only that, but they were actually just asked to sit at the hemp roundtable in DC because they are doing everything right. And regulations are coming down the pipeline soon. And then when they do, all these companies and all these like independent operating distributors that are selling the CBD that is not quality, they're going to have to either change, which is expensive, or they're going to have to shut their doors. And when they do, people are going to come to us because we have something that is giving them results. And that is why like we are asked to sit at the hemp roundtable, and that just speaks volumes for us as a company. So before I kind of open it up and you guys can ask me any questions you want, I love to end it with this and just kind of like imagine this. If someone were to ask you in the early 80s to invest in a tech startup called Apple and you said no, would you regret it right now? Or if someone would have asked you to invest in the early 2000s in a little startup called Google and you said no and turned it down, would you regret it right now? Because that is the opportunity that we have right here with Green Compass. And the mission we are on, it is just amazing. It gives me goosebumps every time I talk about it. So that is my little spiel for tonight. And I'm going to stop the recording.